back here for my series on Herbal Medicine 101, taking those herbs in your kitchen and finding out how you can turn it into a medicine, right? Don't mind me, I have a little bit of a sore throat, but I wanted to make sure and share and stay consistent with my 2 videos a week. So if you'll just bear with me, I'm happy that you're here. All right, so today, the herb I'm going to talk about is thyme, Thyme. When I was a kid, I probably thought it was thyme. And then, of course, that Sergio something or other. Put a link of it where they have to say the song, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. Probably shouldn't be singing it right now, again, because of my voice. All right, so let's talk a little bit about thyme. Now, as I told you, I'm going through, as a beginner, sharing what I know in real time with you. And I'm first starting with the book Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs, A Beginner's Guide. Here's what she has to say about thyme. Oddly, this diminutive, fragrant herb is beloved by gardeners and bees alike and has a long and respected medicinal past, but is neglected by many contemporary herbalists. I think it's one of our best medicines. It's one of my favorite cold and cough remedies. Maybe I should be using this one for sure. I've often used it to make a delicious and effective cough syrup. Dr. Paul Lee, a professor at the University of California in Santa Cruz, did a number of studies on thyme and found that it has a major strengthening effect on the thymus gland, thereby enhancing immune function. Well, that's something to keep in mind, isn't it? Definitely going to have to look into this further. Let's talk about growing thyme. Thyme is a hardy perennial that seems to thrive in most climates, though it prefers well-drained, alkaline soil and a sunny location. Seeds can be sown directly in the soil in the late spring or indoors in flats for an earlier start. There are many varieties of thyme, some of which grow upright and others that are creepers. Okay, now let's get into the medicinal uses. Thyme is a powerful and effective disinfectant and can be used both externally as a wash and internally to help fight off infection. It's often used to help ward off colds and as a rinse to treat sore throat and oral infections. It also makes a fine tea for treating coughs and chest complaints and is used in many antifungal remedies. A recent study shows that it's rich in antioxidants, most plants are, and a markedly tonic effect supporting normal body functions. It seems to have a positive effect on the glandular system as a whole, and especially the thymus gland. Now, again, I find it so funny, and have you noticed this as well? How synchronistic life tends to be? So here I am making this decision to learn more about herbal medicine, and then here I come at the very time that I'm having a sore throat issue to the medicine, or the herb, I should say, called thyme. So again, I'm definitely going to keep this in mind, and I will definitely make a video if I make one of the tonics here. So this is what thyme looks like, growing in the wild. And it says trimming thyme plants, you might have noticed that there are flowers there, in early spring will encourage more flowers, making the bees happy too. Right, here's what we're probably more traditionally used to seeing it in the supermarket. So let's look at the medicines that the author talks about. She actually only tells us about 2 medicines here. One of them is called thyme syrup, and the other one is called thyme honey. What she says about thyme syrup is, this is one of my favorite syrups for treating colds, coughs, and chest complaints. I bought my first bottle of thyme syrup in a small market in the south of France, and I've been hooked ever since. It's a very effective medicine, but also delicious enough to add to sparkling water and serve as a sparkling thyme thyme tisane. So what it looks like, what you have is 2 to 4 ounces of thyme leaf and flour, 1 quart of water, and 1 cup of honey. And then for the thyme honey, she writes, thyme honey probably couldn't be considered the strongest remedy for coughs and colds, but is one of the better tasting. So what I love again about this is that when you look at the ingredients, for lack of a way to say it, for these recipes that actually allow you to use these herbs that you usually can get your hands on pretty easily, there really aren't a lot of ingredients. So it really does come back to, if it's just about the convenience factor, right? To find something that works for your body and gets the results that you're looking for, right? It's just a matter of like changing your pattern, I would say. Changing your pattern of like, rather than going to your traditional, drugstore or, in the medicine department of like your local grocery store, to actually go and pick up these items and just, put them together, measure them out, put them together. Because I know that in the past, when I've talked about friends, because I think I've mentioned to you, I have many friends who have been into this type of medicine on and off over the years. They talk about it like it's not that difficult to do it. So it's a matter of just like creating the habit to do it, I guess. And so I would love to hear down below, like in the comments, would you tell me, have you used thyme before? Are there any recipes that you would consider sharing with the rest of us? And how has the journey been for you? Are you new to this process? Have you been doing it for a number of years? What was the deciding factor for you to move into this type of medicine? And are there times when, I guess there probably, this maybe goes without saying, are there times when you would prefer to use maybe an over-the-counter medication as opposed to taking the time to make it? Because I think the other piece, as far as like with our children, let's say, when we see our children suffering, we want them to have relief quickly. And so I've always, again, been interested to know, like, does it work as quickly as over-the-counter medicine like a Dimetap or, a NyQuil, a Dayquil, especially for those of us that, have to go to work and that sort of thing. And as many of you know, if you've followed me for a while, you know that I'm a teacher. So part of this little croakiness is that I went back to working in a preschool. And so it is it's not just just some sort of rumor that when you go into a new school, that first week you are basically coming into contact with all the germs in the school. And so it takes you down for a couple of days, and then you have a built up an immune system and you're fine for the rest of the year. So that's definitely what's going on with me. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. If you have not watched the other videos, make sure and look in my playlist. I have them put all together. And let me know if you try either of these recipes, and if you have bought the book, and what do you think about it? All right, I'll see you again soon.